Oh my god, my leg almost locked up. Holy fucking Jesus.
Oh, this is a great start.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to drink some fucking water. Or beer.
Yeah, because that's what you want to do to fix what your when your leg tenses up. Alcohol.
Yeah, well, it's just a lack of like water in your system, I guess.
Exactly.
In your leg.
So, well, I mean, beer is like 50% water, especially that.
True. Yeah, true.
So clearly, if you're dehydrated, you just need to drink more.
Yeah, well,
excessively more.
That's my plan.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. To the Lighthouse.
Yeah. We just finished watching The Lighthouse. Directed by.
I don't fucking know.
Director of The Vivitch.
The Value Village Itch.
That's something I never want to hear ever again. No, thank you.
Yeah, and especially after like working there, like you kind of like your bird itches in a weird way.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
It's a traumatic experience.
True.
But Robert Eggers, something like
Eggers,
that. Eggers, yeah.
Eggers,
I think that's his name. I watched The Witch a few months ago, and I thought it was okay, but it was really overhyped for me for a lot of different reasons. Like I felt like it wasn't subtle enough. Personally, I thought that everything was just kind of very like cut and dry. That it would have been better if things were kept. Like for example, you have that scene where the boy goes into the woods because he hears the call of the witch, and like
the sun,
and she comes out, like the titular witch comes out of the shack, and she's like got like the red robes on. She's clearly like cast a spell, so she looks like more younger and like sexually attractive to him.
Yeah,
that was like too on the nose for me.
Weren't her like boobs like hanging out or something?
No, not in that scene.
Oh.
But like stuff like that was very common in The Witch, and I felt like it kind of was it was too obvious. There wasn't enough subtlety in the whole thing. Whereas I felt in The Lighthouse, he improved a lot on that. There was a lot more subtlety. There was a lot more. I don't know what the term is for vague. Like vagueness. Vagueness is not a word, but that's what I'm trying to think of.
We'll just make up a word.
Yeah, vagueness. We'll just call it vagueness.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Things were kept very like you weren't sure what was real and what was not.
Yeah, it was.
Well, we should start from the beginning. Like the whole film is about essentially a lighthouse keeper's descent into madness. The two lighthouse keepers descents into madness.
And they also had to form an immediate they had to work with each other without knowing each other.
Yeah.
So they were thrown into this job position.
Yeah.
Without knowing each other, and it was just like, yep, here you go. Like, just throw it in there. Like, throw them in there. Like with just two human beings. Just like, yep.
Here you go. Yeah, and so the lighthouse captain, or the boss, essentially, is played by Willem Dafoe, and the new guy on the job is Robert Pattinson, who, of course, everyone knows from his breakout role in Twilight. But unfortunately, his career kind of went to shit.
I still touch my nipples to that.
A beautiful performance for sure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, his career kind of went to shit after that. But he's been picking up steam again, and I feel like this movie is the one that really shows that he has
balls.
He has balls, and he's got a lot of fucking potential, and
acting balls.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate that Twilight is the movie that he's most known for, because if anything, he should be known for this, because his performance in this is fucking incredible, as is Willem Dafoe's. This might be, I haven't seen every film Dafoe has been in, of course, but this is my favorite performance of his that I have seen by far.
Yeah,
much better than Green Goblin, even though I love him as Green Goblin. People have mixed opinions about the Spider-Man movies, but I don't know.
He has the voice though. As the Green Goblin, he's like,
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you.
It sounds like a fucking demon or a monster or some shit.
I'm gonna get you, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, in regard to the like the actors, it like the whole film is basically two actors and a lighthouse.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you got.
That's it.
And well, there is a couple. There is the actor who plays. Well, I guess we should say spoilers right now. There's the actress who plays the siren, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that there's
But
there's
that's
also at the very
that's like
beginning.
a dream sequence.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
does that really happen or like does it not? Like,
Yeah. But the visuals in this movie are incredible. Like I said at one point that the way that the shots are composed and the way that it's all shot in black and white, it's shot on film, I think, and it's done in a 4:3 aspect ratio.
4:3, yeah.
Yeah, which makes it really interesting. The first thing I thought of was like, oh, this looks like old school YouTube from like 2007, 2008.
Yeah, like
everything
that.
was like a square, instead of the rectangle.
Like it would be like a like top 10 Michael Myers
Yes,
kills.
yeah.
Like, you know,
or like when you throw on like an old VHS film on a widescreen TV and it's just like a square with like black boxes on the other side. It's that kind of vibe too, which is really cool and makes it definitely adds to the whole like just unsettling fucking creepy atmosphere of the film.
Yeah.
Because this film is incredibly atmospheric.
Yeah.
But the shots are beautifully composed. There's a lot of symmetry going on, especially in the first 15 to 20 minutes. A lot of symmetrical shots. But the fact that it's also shot in black and white definitely adds to that too. Because I don't know when this was supposed to take place, but you see clocks on the wall, which means it's like modern enough that stuff like that exists. I like clocks with hands that actually turn around.
It would have been like, I'm guessing, like without like research or we never looked into this. I would say like the 40s.
No, I would say it had to be way earlier than that, man. Because like no one in the 40s was talking like that.
True.
They use very like the character that's played by Willem Dafoe. His name is Thomas. He speaks in a very like old-timey vernacular where think like in the dialogue in The Witch was like that too.
Catholic preacher type.
Yeah, sort of like because the dialogue in The Witch was like that as well. It was super like old-timey, archaic English, even though like that's probably not what you actually refer to as archaic English. It was just like that, you use a lot of words like "tis" and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to describe off the cuff like this, but he speaks that way. But Robert Pattinson's character talks sort of with he has like a New York accent, like a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah, and he's kind of like the thing I got about Robert Pattinson's character, he was almost like disappointed the whole time. Like he was kind of like searching for something.
Yeah.
Like if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he was looking for something, whereas Willem Dafoe's character was deep set in something.
Mm.
You
You
know
don't
what
want to give it up.
Yeah, he didn't want to. He was very deep set, and he was of course like obsessed with the. Oh God, am I getting too far?
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, let's say this. Like it's
He's obsessed with the light.
Yeah. Well, the movie is very slow at first, for the first maybe like 30 to 45 minutes, and around like that mark, like the halfway mark, is when shit gets crazy, and like Pattinson,
To put it lightly.
basically Pattinson. Dafoe will not let Pattinson up into the light because he's like, you're not allowed. Like it's my job to do that. Your job is to.
It's my light.
Yeah, like your job is to be the little bitch. Basically, you got to take care of all the other shit. I'm the one who mans the light. You're essentially my servant.
Yeah.
So then Pattinson gets really like upset with this. He starts becoming obsessed with it. And one night he sneaks up there and he looks up through the grate and he sees like Defoe's character is standing there naked, and there's like tentacles slithering around, and you hear like these like weird squishing sounds. And then you essentially see like a drop of cum, like.
And it hits him in the face.
And it hits him in the face.
It hits him in the face.
And
what the fuck?
It's like super like disgusting, and the sound effects during that scene are so like gross and visceral. Yeah, and after that, that's when shit gets real, and like they start getting into fights and like heated arguments, and they just start drinking because at first Pattinson he swears up alcohol. He's totally sober. He doesn't drink at all.
Yeah.
But then as the film goes on, after that moment, he starts drinking more. Well, he starts drinking more, and he drinks more and more and more. The two of them are just getting like plastered every single night to the point where Pattinson can't remember how much time has passed.
Yes.
And that's when Defoe starts gaslighting him. He starts saying like, "What are you talking about? It's been like weeks. Like
4 weeks.
You missed the guy that was supposed to come pick you up. It's been weeks since then, and we still haven't had anything. We're trying to ration food, but you keep eating everything."
Yes.
And he just keeps gaslighting him.
Yes.
And then that gets interspersed with visions and dreams that Pattinson is having. So you're starting to get to this point where you can't tell what's actually happening and what's not.
Yes.
It's very like kind of hard to tell. Like you can tell when something is officially happening, like towards the end where they actually get into that fist fight. You know that like they actually got into a fight. But there's other stuff where it's really hard to tell. Like, did this happen? Did this not happen? Like for example, there's this one scene where he's essentially fucking a mermaid.
He is.
And you can't
watch the movie.
Yeah.
Watch the movie.
But you can't tell if that was like just a vision that he was having or if that was something that was real, you know? Because he references it further on, but then Defoe's like, "You're full of shit." And he starts gaslighting him again. So it's hard to tell.
And
you know?
No, he has the little figurine, like the little like ivory carving, like
of a mermaid,
soapstone or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. And he was masturbating to it.
Yeah. He's like pulling his bird to it, like
Yeah.
And it's kind of like oh, is that a red herring or like what is that? Like,
it's hard to tell
because it means something.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's definitely a movie we'd have to watch again. You can't just like watch it once and just get everything. It's definitely it's one of those films that does require like a repeated viewing just to. Because I feel like it has layers. Like I feel like all good horror movies like that, you can watch it again and again and again and always discover something new about it you didn't see. Like that happens to me with The Thing. It happens to me with Hereditary.
Yeah.
That to me is the mark of a really great horror movie. You keep finding little details you didn't notice before.
Yeah, and like especially the way it's full on shot like absolutely in like beauty mode.
Mm.
So instead of I was thinking this when we were watching it actually, it's not shot in a way that would be consumer friendly.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah.
It's shot in a way that is gorgeous,
mm-hmm.
and if you can't fucking deal with it,
a lot of really slow shots too. Like it lasts for a long time.
Like
it's very
slow draw,
Yeah.
But if you can't deal with the beauty, go fuck yourself. That is the Lighthouse.
Yeah.
If you can't deal with it, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Basically.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it fucking like there's so many. And remember how many times? Oh God. 2 points. The sound of the lighthouse going. I forget the sounds like.
It was just kind of like
or some.
Yeah. And then
that. Yeah.
Like repeated every 8 minutes or so.
Yeah. And then also the establishing shot, like the very like super wide establishing shot of the lighthouse itself
mm-hmm.
from super far away. And it's the lighthouse, and it's like the contrast is so dimmed that the light just every time the only thing you can really make out is like when the light turns around and you get like a glimmer of the light.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, and the foreground is like just black.
I feel like it's funny because otherwise I would not be comparing it to this movie at all. But the visuals reminded me so much of Begotten,
I was gonna fucking say that.
Yeah, not just because
that.
it's black and white, but because of the way it's contrasted.
Yeah.
And like especially the shots of like the open ocean with the lighthouse in the distance, like you said.
Yeah.
That and like the waves crashing up and like everything's really grainy. It's got like this grainy filter over it.
Yeah.
It reminded me so much of Begotten.
Yeah.
And I fucking love that movie so.
But yeah, no, it was like the contrast, super high contrast, and it was like these beautiful, like when the blacks wanted to be black, they were fucking black.
Oh yeah.
And when the grays wanted to be gray, they were fucking gray.
Yeah.
Whites, all those beautiful black and white, like the ultimate contrast, like you know those gorgeous photographs that you see, or like not so much in film. Like I want to say this, like almost every frame in this film looked like a photograph.
Yeah.
Like it did. Every fucking frame looked like a. Can I swear on this?
Yes.
Okay. Every frame looked like a photograph.
Yeah.
Like a beautiful photograph, and you're just like, oh, there's another one.
Yeah, like it's
Like you know, like
it's gorgeous. But I guess another thing we should bring up is how like this movie was filmed on location in Nova Scotia, and we're both from Newfoundland, so we noticed like a lot of similarities to that. Like even down to the dialogue and the way that they were talking reminded us so much of, like for example, if you go to Newfoundland and you go to St. John's and you go to like, if you actually take the tour of places like Cabot Tower, or there's other places too, like what's the other? Cape Spear. Cape Spear. If you go out to those places,
the lighthouse,
and you go to those like lighthouses, and you go inside, it's so similar to what they depicted in the film.
Yeah.
Because it's like in those places, those tourist attractions, they've painstakingly recreated the way that their furniture looked, the way that the aesthetic was of that place to be period accurate. And in the lighthouse, it looks almost exactly like that, which is why I was like, this looks so familiar. This looks like something that you and I have been to before.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
and,
definitely.
And the way that like the outfits that they were wearing, the food that they were eating, the way that they were drinking, down to everything, it just reminded us like so much of being in Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Honestly. So that was a really cool aspect, especially the fights. The drunk fights. It's like George Street.
Yeah,
George
Friday night, George Street.
1 p.m., 1 a.m. George Street on a Friday night,
like,
basically.
Buddy, don't fuck around here tonight.
Buddy, you want to have a go?
I'm gonna fucking smack you in the mouth.
You wants to have a go, buddy. You better come fuck over here right now. I'll beat the fucking lips off you. So yeah, it reminded us a lot of that, for sure.
I really like Willem Dafoe's vest. In a lot of the scenes, he wears like this like really nice like you know, like a 3-piece suit, but he just wears like regular clothes, but with the vest from a 3-piece suit.
Yeah,
I love that. Like the really nice touch, and it's like that was like these guys trying to feel like high class, you know,
important.
Like, yeah, they wanted to feel important.
Yeah,
you know, they wanted like Willem Dafoe's character, like he wanted to feel important. He wanted it, and he was the captain, like whatever, and he like I said, he wanted to feel important, and he wanted to be like, you know, even though he got naked and masturbated to like a light.
As
bulb.
you do.
Yeah.
He masturbated to a light bulb.
Well, I mean, I've masturbated to, I think, 6 light bulbs, and I mean, it was really disappointing.
Sounds painful.
It was.
But, well, what else was I going to say? See, now I'm completely off track. I'm just getting a mental image I don't want right now. Oh, yeah. So, another thing that we should mention is Defoe's speech. Because they get into, like, after the whole, like, after the switch flips and the insanity starts building, they get into this huge argument in the attic over Defoe's really shitty cooking.
Yes.
And he's like,
You don't like my lobster?
no, he's like, you're fond of my lobster, aren't you?
Oh yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
Come on, speak it true. You know, he says something like that along the
You're
lines
fond
of
of my lobster?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Pattinson basically just like, no, fuck you, essentially.
And he's like drunk.
And then Defoe gets up and he just rattles off this like insane monologue where he just lists all the horrible things that the sirens are going to do to him in painstaking detail over and over and over again, with introducing all these different words and adjectives.
Yeah.
And it just goes on. And it was so funny because we were watching it with Erin, and she, at the end of the monologue, she just looks at us and she was like, that's really excessive for not liking someone's cooking. But it's so fucking true. It's like, you know, I get offended when someone says they don't like my cooking, but I would never like curse them to the depths of the ocean to be raped by Triton or something like that, you know?
I'm just trying to wrap my mind around that fucking monologue, man.
I know.
Because
that's definitely like a standout point of the movie.
Yeah, and like I said, like if Willem Dafoe doesn't win an Oscar for like best actor for this role, it'll be like mind blowing.
Yeah, he totally deserves it, honestly.
Yeah, dude, that fucking monologue went
alone. That alone.
That could be a short film all in itself.
Yeah.
Right? It was like fucking 5 minutes of just.
He just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
No breaks.
Just, bang, 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 and it's like. Like I remember like edging my seat forward.
Yeah.
Like
that's
just
another thing too, is that like during this whole movie, aside from like, you know, taking bathroom breaks and shit, we were just like engrossed completely.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you said, you know, as the movie goes along, you just feel yourself like edging further along. There were literally moments where my mouth was just like, and like that doesn't happen to me a lot, you know. Like that's something that I reserve for really like standout moments in films where I don't control it, you know. It just naturally happens. And there were like multiple moments where I was just like,
yeah, like whoa. And
then I would catch myself and realize like, oh shit, my mouth is agape. I'm probably drooling all over myself. So maybe I should stop. There were multiple moments throughout this film where that happened. Now, on the flip side of that, I don't think it's perfect. I think I have one issue that I really want to point out because it didn't ruin the film for me at all.
Right.
It's more like a minor nitpick. But at the end of the film, 3 shots. There's one shot where Pattinson finally manages to get to the top of the lighthouse after killing Defoe in a pretty brutal way, and he opens the hatch, and there's this really weird, bizarre scene where he's just like looking at the light, and it almost feels like he's having an orgasm, and every time he opens his mouth, like it's all super distorted with this ambient music, and it sounds like harsh noise, like industrial music or power electronics, like that genre, where every time he opens his mouth, it's just like a horrible scream, even though he's not actually screaming.
Yeah, that was strange.
And then this next shot after that is him falling down the spiral staircase to the bottom where he dies, and then it goes to black, and then there's a third shot,
and then it's like. And it's fucking.
Yeah, he's lying on the fucking rocks of the shore with seagulls like eating his intestines, and he's still alive while this is happening.
I prefer the term bowels.
Well, either or if you want to get like scientific about it. But I feel like the movie could have been a 10 out of 10, like an absolutely flawless film if it ended on that shot of him just like opening the light and we don't see what it is. You know, I feel like if it was left ambiguous as to what the light actually is, it would have made for a much better ending instead of like having him die, you know? I feel like if he just opened it up and just been like, ah, like that, and then like
It's the light.
like three instances of him kind of like screaming in like glory or agony or whatever, and then just like cut to black. That would have been perfect. But those last two shots felt tacked on, and they didn't need to be there. Now that's my only criticism of this film.
Okay.
Only thing I have to say bad about it at all.
Wow.
It was actually like, even the runtime I felt was perfect. It didn't feel too long. It didn't feel too short. 40 minutes.
40 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. The acting superb. The cinematography superb. The editing fucking immaculate. Literally the only issue I have is those last two shots. That's it. How about you?
You mean my qualms?
Yeah. Do you have any?
Okay. I have a problem with some of the jump cuts that they did.
Mm.
There's a couple I'm not gonna be specific. This is gonna be great for the video, by the way. There was a couple of jump cuts that I was like, I was kind of like, really?
Mm.
Like, but I do agree with you on the ending, like the ending where he just like falls down the stairs and then okay, so if he fell down the stairs inside the lighthouse, did he fucking crawl his ass out and
Part of me wonders if that was supposed to be symbolic.
Of what?
I don't know. I don't know what it would have been.
Yeah, like of what? Like, cause he fell down over the stairs and it's a spiral staircase, so it's a spiral into madness. And then he fucking just like, it's one of those jump cuts that I don't like, and he just goes like, and he's on a beach getting picked apart by pigeon.
Yeah.
Getting picked apart
Pigeons, seagulls, beach rats.
Well, I got to smoke a cigarette now. But yeah, no, he's getting picked apart by fucking seagulls. And it's like, how the fuck did you get out on the beach? Or did you crawl your ass out there? Or like, did you expect...
Maybe he did. That's the only thing I could think of. But
Yeah.
it wasn't explained,
Yeah, like, did you expect this to happen? Like, what did you expect to happen? Like, were you trying to save yourself? Or like, what were you trying to accomplish by falling down over the stairs, getting real hurt, and then crawling your ass out onto the beach?
Yeah.
Like, like...
Maybe he was going after that mermaid that he fucked.
I'll be damned.
Siren, whichever you want to use.
Same.
It's all the same shit.
Same shit.
But I think, like, what do you think the main theme of this movie was, though? I think a big one was how, because like multiple things obviously led to his like descent into madness, his downward spiral into insanity. But I think a big theme was how gaslighting leads to that, because that's definitely what Defoe's character was doing to him. So, for example, like, how when he woke up and after like they had that big first night of being like super drunk, and he was like, I gotta like get ready and go, and then like Defoe comes in and he's like, what are you talking about? Like, you were supposed to leave weeks ago and the guy didn't come to pick you up.
Yes.
That's a perfect example.
Yes.
Or after Defoe is chasing him down the beach with the axe, and then afterwards he was like, you were chasing me down the beach with an axe. That's gaslighting.
Okay. Alright. Yeah.
Because he does it multiple instances throughout this movie, and I think a big theme was how something like that can lead to a person just like losing it, essentially.
Going cuckoo.
Yeah. So, or just like how like that can be. I mean, I guess I wouldn't say like abuse is necessarily a big theme of this film, but like I think gaslighting was a big part of it.
I think this film was about whatever the fuck the director thought it was about.
I mean, that's fair.
No, I can think of a better description than that. It was definitely about. It was about just like how if you put two humans together with limited resources, their interactions are definitely going to become more and more sparse hostile, I guess you could say,
Mm.
and it just becomes like. But that's not what the movie's about, I know, but like, that's what it is in itself.
In essence, that's the main like point of the movie.
Yeah, like they get more and more like hostile,
Yeah.
like towards each other. So yeah, that was the Lighthouse. It was life changing in the sense that like kind of like It Follows, Hereditary, The Witch, stuff like that. Like it just changed the game. Like if you're a horror movie fan,
Question though, would you even call this a horror film?
no.
That's the thing. It's not even really a horror film, is it? It's more like fucking psychological, mind-melting, whatever the fuck. That's the new genre that I'm coining. Psychological, mind-melting, whatever the fuck. Right now. And this is the first film in this new genre.
Yeah, I would almost call it like, God damn it, that chair never felt so comfortable.
There we go. God damn it, that chair never felt so comfortable.
Just sit there like, holy shit. And then every moment it's just like,
Maybe we should call it drooling Neanderthal mouth movies.
sure.
Anyway, this is over. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.